Here we have the Westin Hotel in San Diego. The opening of the SEWP conference tonight at 6 p.m. Here we are, day one of the SEWP conference. Beautiful setup. Looks like about 300 people, and the presentations will start at 9 o'clock. And the conference is starting. Joanne Wojtek, program manager. Presentation. This is the keynote speaker.
Super Bowl. I thought we'd go ahead and open with something just
He's opening up.
a bit more
Day one
imaginative.
conference.
Imagine there's no heaven. See if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no country. It's hard to do.
Just a little bit. It's actually that pool of creativity yourself, but also impart back over to your team to continue building that emotional commitment to drive future discretionary effort, to drive and make free that process of collaboration from a little different perspective. That process of even execution from a little different perspective, and streamlining some of those operational efficiencies a little differently than we had before. Because no longer is the question, like I opened up with this morning, are you an artist? I think deep down we've all known the answer to that since we were a little kid. The question for this morning, as we're opening this year's SEWP conference, is now how are you going to reawaken that childlike imagination in yourself to plug back into that collaborative process, back into that contract procurement going forward? How are you going to reignite your own artistry to plug back into your teams, back into those future conversations to ignite that process a little bit differently? Because truly, those that embrace creativity and innovation, those that embrace being engaged in that transformational change are better equipped to succeed in the future. And that process is going to be critical for us moving forward. How do we employ that into our own lives, and how do we impart that back into our teams and to our relationships going forward? How do we discontinue that laser-focused pursuit of trying to be perfect and open up the spectrum for looking for ways to be remarkable? And that idea or concept of almost imagination as being the starting point for breakthrough thinking or collaboration means a lot to me, because one of my personal heroes subscribed to that theory. And although he himself in a lot of ways was labeled, even almost disabled, at a really early age, because he was practically told flat out by the system, by the structure, by the tradition around him, that he would not be successful because he didn't think exactly the way everyone else systematically thought. He didn't act exactly the way everyone else was supposed to be acting. He wanted to use that little bit of difference, a different way of seeing and even experiencing the world to create extraordinary opportunities. I see what most people saw as obstacles or barriers, and being able to look at them almost even as opportunities, simply by seeing the world through different eyes. competition, to see a lot of those things that frustrate you, but to have the courage, like Albert Einstein did, to twist that landscape. And to think like no one has ever thought before. I think that is the art of vision. Thank you guys very much.
Beautiful paintings from Eric Wall. That's an absolutely great presentation. To start off the conference. And here we are in the exhibit hall. All the contract holders. We have tabletops, networking with the government customers. Very impressive. A few breakout sessions, and then at the end of the day, on day 1 and day 2, there will be a networking reception. Good day. Next presentation.
But I think it was working.
Graham
Fit
Wojcik
everything
on
in
the
one
state of
page.
soup. This will be a
It's
presentation
actually only
before
one bullet point, but it's a long one.
So hopefully none of our presentations will be like that. Okay, so I asked you all what your goals were. Let me state what's on my are, what I hope you all get out of this. Gaining inside information about the contracts themselves. Hopefully, I also want you to provide feedback. This is not meant to be a one-way street conference. It's meant to be a two-way or three-way where you can talk to you. The contract holders, they talk to you, talk to us. We want to really get a lot of energy out of this conference to go forward next year, determine what I missed. Goals and priorities are. The networking with government industry, you did that. That was great. I remember to the break session. I got to tell you, there was some conferences and everybody kind of goes outside. I know it's hard not to in San Diego, but it's really great that you went in there and talked with the contract holders, get to know those program managers, you hear about them in terms of using them and making sure that they help you get what you need.
Offices, the technical team knows what it is
this
that
is
they want.
the lunch
So
time
I'm not
panel
here to say
on
that
the
our
interior
program officers
GSA.
or our program people know what you
Hosted by
want better
Marcus
than you do.
Fidelli, necessary.
That's not our point. We know the contract. We know the task order. We know how to keep the contractor
Acquisition
meeting your
roundtable.
needs without going over or under what your expectations were.
No, I know at the end of the year for us, we get a lot of phone calls, frantic, people say, "Chance, can we give our money to you? And, when do you need this money?" And obviously, we point your way. Do you have guidance that, when people, as far as a deadline maybe, towards that fiscal year that you'd like to have, know what your requirements are going to be? And what is your busiest time of year?
Well, first of all, there's a big misconception about, people throw the term interagency contract around quite a bit, and there's a misconception of what exactly that is. So the SEWP contract is a pre-competed contract vehicle, like a GSA schedule, for example, is a pre-competed contract vehicle. The SEWP contract is a GWAC, which is a government-wide acquisition contract that any federal agency can utilize, but they don't actually accept
NASA.
Thank you, Joanne. And long ago, before I was a CIO, and I said that I was happy, and I was a systems programmer on IBM mainframe. It was a VM systems program. And so we used to talk about the goodness of the operating system. And there was a saying that IBM used VM, but they sold MVS because they used it because it was very good. When I came to, when I was at Justice,
We continue to organically grow the conference and turn it into staff, and our staff continues to come pull together and make it happen. So I would like to extend a sincere thank you to staff, and as I mentioned your name, please stand. because this would not be possible, at all. Now, of course, Joanne and Darlene, I'd like to first thank, because they're our gracious hosts, and they make this possible every year. From the staff, Angela, Keisha, and George. have been We do about, I think we're on pace for like 26 events in this fiscal year, and this is just one of them, but it's the big one, and they keep us going next week and last week and every other week, and I'm so thankful for their dedication to keep it going. Some other folks that really supported, and like I said, please thank Randy Gitteron and Alex. They make sure they keep, I'm not the IT guy, so through like, how many computers do you need? Mark, slow down, tell us what you need, and they get it through my head. And I'm just going to roll through some of these. Teresa Kinney, obviously, Phil Pohl, for all the logistical work they do as far as getting this room ready. And as you know, these assigned seats are is not an easy thing. Yeah, correct. And just for the others, please stand. Al Marshall, Marlon, Keisha, Adrian, Don, KG, Gina, Mike, Denise, Wilma, Darlene Harkins, Joanne's daughter Katie, and Grace. All of these people are with this event on. So as much as Joanne thanks me and Angela, thank you to all of you for coming, because of course, as you know, this event preparation takes time, and the budget thing, as Joanne mentioned, we were pulling our hair out last week, and we were like, who's really going to pull through on this? So thank you for still coming, being dedicated. Thank you to the table leads for being leaders and keeping it going. So enjoy the rest of the conference.